Hi everyone, David Mail here. Today I'm going to show you something really cool. It's simple, but it's really neat in what it does. I'm going to show you how to build a Power BI dashboard that's very effective using some really cool data. Today we're going to be using loaded and unloaded plyometrics data from an analysis done and research done at John Hopkins University. So I'm going to show you how to do that here and how to bring that all together. So let's go to the data page. I've got two pages here, dashboard and data. The data page shows exactly what the data looks like. Every column, it's not a whole lot of data to it. It's all listed right here on the right. And I've only added these two columns here, average 40 and average vertical. What that means is the vertical is your vertical jump. The 40 is your 40-yard dash. It's a good measure for how explosive and powerful or fast a athlete is for basketball, football, soccer, and many other sports. So they have the athletes, instead of their name, they have a 5-digit ID, their grade, their state, date, previous vertical, previous 40, and then what they did was they did over a 30-day period. They did loaded and unloaded plyometrics, and they also had a holdout group. I'll show you that on the next page, the dashboard. And you can compare them with this data to see how this did over those 30 days. How did they improve? So they have the final 40 and the final vertical jump for them. And how many high school grades were included, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. States involved. And then here is the lowest 40 time, the average 40 time, the slowest 40 time, and then the opposite, the highest vertical, the average vertical leap, and the lowest vertical leap. Obviously 42, that's a very high vertical leap. It's very good. Michael Jordan was 48 inches. That shows you how good that is. So these right here, just so you can see them, these are cards. You go right here and click this as a card. I'm showing you how to build this also. And if you click on any of these and you click on that card, you'll be able to see what is the data field. So if I click here, right, for states, it's state. I can put any of these lowest 40 times built off the 40, the final 40. I could show the earlier 40, but I want to show where they ended up at, both with the 40s and with the verticals. See how it moves to final vertical there. And again, this is just a list of, if I click on this chart here, it'll show you all of the fields here in their order that I just put in there. That's all that is. Okay, see them right there. So now, and that's a chart right here, and these are cards. So if I click that, that's cards right there. Okay, so now if I go back to the previous page, which is the most important one, this is the dashboard. That was just the data in case somebody wants to export the data and wants to look deeper into or add it to another data set or something like that. So in here, we've got the effects of loaded and unloaded plyometrics on athletes. This is a text box right here. I just brought that in, put it here, pick the different size I want for it, click off it. And the same thing for this little disclaimer here. It says basically they were done with 60 athletes over a 30-day period. There were 3 groups used: loaded, unloaded, and non-plyometric workouts. So when you look at this page here, again, we have cards that show the percent change. Now this is, remember I told you I had these two calculated columns are very simple, average 40 and the average vertical. The exact same calculation. The difference is they're just average of the final vertical minus the previous vertical divided by the count of the date. That's how I did that one. You could use count of any field that's going to have all of the items in it. And I used that for both of those. Okay, so that's what that was. And then I bring that over here. So you've got the percent change in 40 time. We've got loaded, unloaded, and holdout. How do I do that? For that, I have this, which is a filter just based off of HLU, which is based off of the class right here, which is in that data. So obviously this one here is loaded, L, unloaded is U, and holdout is H. So holdout is the group that did not do any plyometrics whatsoever. Unloaded did plyometrics, but they're not weighted or loaded. And then the loaded group is putting more resistance, more pressure, more loading on those functional movements like dumbbell jumps versus regular jumps. That's what that is. And you can see from this data clearly that the loaded is basically giving you a 2.42% gain or reduction in this case because of the 40 time, versus the unloaded is 1.92% and the holdout is 1.72%. So you can clearly see here for their 40 time that doing plyometrics has a benefit. It's a small benefit, but it has a benefit. They're going to be a little bit faster than the holdout group that doesn't do them. And then you get much faster with the loaded group. Look at that difference there. Okay, same thing with the vertical jump. So the vertical jump, the holdout group had 0.16 improvement, 0.18 inches for the unloaded, and then basically almost a quarter of an inch for the loaded group. Doesn't sound like much, but over 30 days to add a quarter of an inch is a big difference. That could be a difference between dunking and not dunking for someone, or being able to be a better player and really showing out on the court. And so when you look at this, percentage here, if you were to actually calculate out, so these people have actually dropped their speed on average by 0.123 for the loaded, 0.098 for the unloaded, and the holdout is 0.0877. That's based on a mean of about 5 seconds for the 40 based on these folks. Now I also have over here the average. These are all cards, by the way, so if I click on any of these, same as the other one, you can figure out which one it is. Let's bring in these two calculated columns for those. This one here is just a line graph, and what I have is the grade and the average of the final 40 brought in, and that way I also have a slicer here, so I can go into, let's say I wanted to look at grade 9. I want to look at grade 10. I can do that very quickly and easily just by clicking here. Okay, I can also erase that and bring it right back. That's why I put that slicer there, so a user can go and slice into their data and do whatever they want to do and look at it a little bit deeper if they want. And it gives me the count of the athletes up here of 60 total athletes, which we know it's said right here. And then these again are the same kind of concept. They just show previous vertical over the average previous 40. And the reason why I'm doing that is we already know, if you know plyometrics and athletic data, that it's a proven fact that there's a huge correlation between vertical jump and a 40 time. So a high vertical jump means you're more explosive, you're going to be faster, you're going to have a better or lower 40 time. And you can see as you go along this path on both the previous and the final 40 time over the 30 days that they did. This was at the beginning, this was at the end. And you can see here as the vertical goes up, what happens? The speed comes down, all the way down. See that? So somebody jumping 40 inches is going to have a very low 40 time. Same with here. And so that's basically what I've done here is show the analysis, show the data in a way that's easy to grasp, easy to understand. They can just zoom in. This is what's cool about Power BI. You can quickly zoom in and focus on anything you want, pick a year and figure it out. And plus, by looking at this data, if I look at this graph right here, it's showing me that, a freshman, a 9th grader, they're starting in sports usually, maybe they did it in 8th grade, and their average is about 5 seconds, 4.98 to be exact there. And then they get faster in their sophomore year, they get a little taller, they get a little more experienced, they try and work out maybe beyond practice and get a little bit faster. Look at this, and you can see clearly the loadeds are faster than the other two. See that? The loaded, the people using heavier weights and doing more and getting more resistance. And then as the junior year starts, some of them they all slack off a little bit. They're probably going to go do more recruitment, maybe some more camps and stuff like that, and they're doing less of the plyometrics altogether. But this group that does the loaded still has a lot higher speed and is doing a lot better. Then as the senior year comes, they slack off a little bit, maybe because these guys now are getting a ton of offers, maybe recruitment going on from colleges, visits they have to do, official, unofficial visits, game day visits, stuff like that. That's taking some time away from them, but they're still above the unloaded group. And what's interesting is the holdout group kicks in the senior year here. Maybe they decided, oh, we're really far back, we need to do something, we need to get faster, and they kick in and do pretty good. So overall, it shows you a lot with this data, and it shows you a lot that you can do quickly in Power BI to create a very good looking and useful dashboard. And I've shown you how to bring in the data, what to do with it, some 2 quick calculated fields, and how to make it so it's insightful. They can sit here and you can literally look at this and say, it's proven. In this case now it's a small group, so you got to be very careful with small groups. It can be very easily biased. Okay, you want to have a bigger group, but this group is 60 athletes they looked at, and from this group you can clearly show that loaded plyometrics are very valuable in getting faster and jumping higher, period. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this interesting and informational. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share, and look at all my other great videos on my channel, and have a great day. Thank you.